Oh man, I'm so glad you're back. Hello. Welcome back, guys. Today we are building another EVA foam wintercraft mask. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. But this time we're not doing the dragon, we're doing the jaguar. But I'm going to sculpt and build it as if it were a Black Panther. So we started out, this is the original, and I flipped it on my computer so everything's backwards, so that when I go to transfer it onto the foam, everything will be right side up again, because it was such a pain last time when I didn't do that, and so I took the time to flip everything digitally. And like I said, this build is brought to you, if you can see that, for new. So we're going to take all these flipped images, and all you have to do is lay it down on your foam. Try not to waste a whole lot of space. Lay it down on your foam, and then we're going to take a whole bunch of acetone and rub the heck out of it. So I like to use, this is just an old sock. I don't like these socks anymore because they are all stretched out. So you just bundle it up nice and tight. Kind of dab it. Line this up. Alright, so you get that, and then you just go through it and you rub it down. And once you put that acetone down, you can see where you're going, because the image shows up really nice. And I'm pushing pretty hard as I do this, putting down pressure to transfer that toner. And then you can, don't move the paper at all, but you can lift it up and check your progress, see if you missed anywhere. So it looks like I didn't really get I kind of double printed up there a little bit, but that's okay. We can fudge that later. So there you go. That's one done. 17 more to go. Okay, so that's the transfer all done. And just a couple of tips for transferring. Number one, you have to use toner. You have to use a laser printer to print whatever you're transferring. If you use an inkjet, it's not going to work at all. Number two, the rag that you're using to blot the acetone down, make sure you don't put it on anything that's varnished, because it'll destroy it. Same thing goes for the paper. After you're done with the sheet and it's got acetone all over it, don't just throw it on your table, because it'll stick to the table. I'm gonna cut this out just with a regular X-Acto knife. And as you're cutting this out, just make sure that your knife is very, very sharp. And you'll know that it's not if the foam starts to pill and grab. You won't get a clean cut. Let's see if we can see this. Okay, you see right here how it started to bunch up a little bit? It was smooth here, and then it started to not cut it and pull that material along and kind of bunch up. That's what you don't want. So if you start to see that, especially in the middle of the foam, in the middle of the cut, you want to replace your blade. And this stuff dulls your knife pretty quickly. You're going to go through a number of different blades during this project. Okay, so it took 2 sheets of foam, 2 squares, and 4 X-Acto blades. Got everything cut out, and I went ahead and relabeled all of the numbers just so I could see them a little bit better with a Sharpie. And then I've got their paper counterpart just so I can make sure I'm doing everything properly and I don't lose myself in that. And then I marked this guy up like crazy. So I put a different mark on every fold, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut through this all the way, and then I'm going to put a paper hinge on the back so it folds really easy, rather than trying to cut it and bend it and heat it and make it go at the right angle. It's going to be a lot easier if I use a paper hinge like this, and then we can just bend it wherever we need it to go. So when I cut them apart and have them separated, these registration marks help me keep everything straight. So on a complicated piece like this that has a lot of folds, I had to come up with a bunch of different symbols so that they were all different. But yeah, we're gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna get these all cut out, put paper hinges on all of the seams, and then we'll start putting this thing together. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so I got a little carried away off camera and finished the whole thing without filming it. I do that sometimes. Now I'm gonna go over the whole thing, not the whole thing, but most of it with DAP Quick Seal. It's just a kitchen and bath caulk that's really good for this kind of application. So I'll fill in some of the voids and some of the rough spots, smooth out some areas with this, and then we'll go to painting. Caulking's all done, and we're gonna paint the inside so you don't see all that in there anymore. We'll just paint all that black, and we're gonna wait for this to dry for a couple hours, put some primer on it, seal it up, and get to painting. Okay guys, now we need to make a headband. This is just one of the end pieces that comes with the mat, and I cut most of these off, but I'm going to leave a few of them to glue up inside the mask. We'll trim these and kind of move them around and see how it fits. So you just need to measure your head and see how that is. My giant head fits this perfectly with the one strip, so I'm just going to glue that up. We'll put some hot glue down. Actually, I want it. Which way do I want it? I want it this way. Smooth on the inside. That's not holding worth a darn. There's some more. That didn't hold. I didn't think it would. So let's add some paper to that, because I don't want to add a whole lot of bulk to this. There's not a lot of space inside there to be adding pieces onto this. So we'll just add a little bit of paper to both sides and reinforce that joint. And then I'm going to put the joint on the side of my head, because the side is a lot flatter, so there'll be less stress there trying to bend it around, because your head's like this. It's not a circle, it's like that. So if you have it like that, there'll be less stress there, right? So that'll be good. And yeah, we just gotta do some test fitting and get it up inside the mask. So for the eye sockets, I'm gonna sacrifice this old pair of safety glasses, cut them in half and mount them in there. And then to get that chrome look that is in the Black Panther mask, I've got this old screen that I can put on here, so you'll still be able to see through it a little bit, and I painted it white. So when it's on there, it'll kind of have that white look, but you'll still be able to see through, so it'll be functional. And we'll see how that works out. Maybe it won't work, maybe it will. Let's just see how it goes.